Hello, welcome back. So let's have a look at the Matic chart. So thanks for sticking with me over this last couple of weeks, because I was on holiday in a caravan with a terrible laptop. I couldn't really do detailed analysis. I didn't really have time to study the charts, and the videos I did make were not really very insightful, I should say. So thanks for sticking with me, and now I'm back home, so I've got a nice computer again. Can have a little closer look at what's going on and where we're going to go. So let's start with going back in time a bit. So the last time we broke beneath the 2 cent mark, other than just recently, was when Bitcoin tried to make its way to 9,000 and buckled under the weight, pulling the market down with it. And Matic was already having a bad time, as we can see, still suffering huge consolidation after its parabolic top, and then that just pushed it right beneath the 2 cent mark, which is a strong support for Matic. It wasn't strong enough to stop it falling beneath it though, so we fell all the way back down to 1.8 of a cent. So what happened after then? That was a great buying opportunity for anybody. So if you got involved then, if we have a little look at how much that could have made you, so you just over 50% profit from its next high, which is pretty impressive stuff. So what do people do when they get it up to there and they see it coming down? So what happened is we made it all the way up to there. If there's no real way that anyone could realistically work out that they can sell at the top, but I'm guessing when people make 50% profit on anything, they're going to start taking some profit. That's what we saw here. And then when we had a second attempt to make it above it and we couldn't do it, that was a telltale sign for traders to sell it off, which is fine. That's what trading's all about. If you're not in it for the long term, that's fine. This is what you do. This is how you make your money, and that is a decent profit, 50% or thereabouts. So people were selling off, and we saw a steeper sell-off here, and then whoops, what happened? We fall underneath all the moving averages, including the 200 EMA, which is the most significant for Matic, I'd say, at this moment in time. And once we push beneath that really would be a telltale sign that if we don't stay above it, we're going to sink further and further beneath it. Now the interesting thing is we do have these big, strong green candlesticks coming up, sticking above it. So every time we go beneath it, the bulls try and push it back up, which they do, but we can't stay above it for long. These are hourly candles, so anything less than 12 hours above this EMA isn't a good sign, really. It means that we're probably going to fall beneath it, which we did. We had a deeper correction and then a bigger bull push to try and get above it once more, breaking it, but really over a few hours falling beneath it, and it's at that point where the bulls lose out to the bears, and we had deeper corrections. Now what happened here, just to highlight a little bit more on top of this, obviously the trend and the technical analysis does suggest that would happen anyway, but this big deep decline here was most likely to do with the statement about Binance not allowing US traders to trade anymore from September, and that is well, obviously, unless you use unregistered accounts or VPNs, there is ways around it. But generally, that's not a good thing for ICO coins as a whole. So that caused this huge sell-off. We're very vulnerable to that kind of news because the ICOs, Matic is its own thing, but because it was launched on Binance and it had it's very deeply ingrained into the Binance ecosystem, really. So we suffered again from there, and suffered so much that we actually broke again beneath the 2 cent mark and back down to just around 19, just beneath 19. Bounced back from there though, so which is good. And now we're trading above the 2 cent, but still under the 200 EMA. So where are we going to go from here? It's too early for me to put any kind of specific sort of movement in with this, because it's still trading in a bearish momentum, to be honest with you. Until we break above this 200 EMA, it's going to be difficult to map anything out. Hopefully we're not going to be testing this 2 cent mark again, but it wouldn't surprise me now at this point if we did test it once more. If we did test it again, we're probably going to look at making another low. However, if we didn't, what we really do need to do is we've got to break above this 200 EMA, and at the rate that it's going, it looks like to me it's going to be moving around here, around that level, which would mean that we're probably going to start bumping up against it in the next couple of days, unless we see a big push. So just to give any kind of price target, we really have to now start to push and make our way above the 2.25 cent mark and stay above there for at least 12 hours to a day before it even tries to stay as to turn itself into some kind of support. At the moment, this correction is still playing out. This could be considered a higher low, so we'll try a little pitchfork in here, but I don't think it's going to really mean anything right now until this correction's played out. Yeah, that's not realistic, is it? I mean, it's just not realistic. So we've got to wait a little while before we can work this out. I'll just try again with the top of the candlesticks rather than the wicks. It looks a little optimistic to me for that to become a trend. I'll leave it in there to see how it goes, but really I need to see this correction play out a little more to see if we can turn a corner before we make any kind of recovery. The important thing is to get at least above 2.25 cent. Once we've got above there and stayed above there, then the trend should change. But don't be surprised if we test the 2 cent again. And if we do test the 2 cent again, literally on the 2 cent area or thereabouts, between 2 cent and 2.05 cent, we could break beneath it again. So we'll have to wait and see. So any buying opportunities, I would probably hold out. Like I say, I'm not your financial advisor, but if I was looking to make a buy on Matic, unless I'm looking to buy it for the long term, I'd wait to see if it tries that 2 cent again, and if it does try the 2 cent again, then there's a good chance it will break that support again, and we're looking to make lower supports around 19 or even at worst 18. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. We'll keep you updated, so keep your notifications on, because I make these Matic videos daily. And thanks for watching. Take it easy.